Aloha, I'm Brickwood Galuteria. Welcome to Kupuna Power, a show for and about seniors. As always, we display the Senior Helpline phone number, 768-7700. If you're in need of any help or education on any kupuna issues, be sure to call that hotline. Today, we continue down the road of memories in Hawaii's galaxy of stars and speak with one of Hawaii's greatest showmen. Danny Kaleikini has entertained English royalty, presidents of the United States, visitors from throughout the world, and countless local residents. But this son of a city and county refuse worker and cocktail waitress always goes back to his roots with everything he does and everyone he meets. Aloha ke kahi I ke kahi, he always says. Love is everywhere. Love is where you find it. Love comes from the heart. And of course, we know we're in Kaniala's presence when we hear his thunderous aloha. Danny Kaleikini is with us on Kupuna Power. Hey, this is Kupuna Power, and I can introduce you now to one of the most powerful kupuna I've come to know and love. He's a dear friend, and it wouldn't be appropriate if he didn't start with his mellifluous voice. Danny Kaleikini with us on Kupuna Power. Aloha.
Aloha. Ho'ona ni ka makua mau. Ke keiki me ka uhane no. Ke a kua mau. Ho'o mai ka ipu. Ko ke lau. Ko ke lau. Amene.
Oh, beautifully done, Kaniala.
Aloha.
Aloha. Welcome to Kupuna Power.
Brickwood and I met him at Kauai Hau Church.
Yeah, right.
And our musical director was Kaniala Akaka.
That's right.
Danny. And then Kahu was our minister, the Kahu.
You know, and since we're going to start there, and since you started with the pule, I think it's important to understand how spiritually grounded you are as a member of the Kauai Hau Church over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And the things that Kahuakaka embedded in you that you always take to performance or when you're talking to people, aloha ke kahi, ke kahi.
Oh, yeah. Love one another. Because Kahu, one day, remember, he pulled me on the side. He says, Kaniala, po'opakiki. Stop what you're doing. I go, because he knew more about us.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were kolohe at that time.
Oh,
no kidding. Okay.
Po'opakiki.
Now, we know Kaniala Kaleikini as, you know, one of Hawaii's stars. For many years, you had your own show, in Waikiki, and then you went over to hold court for 30 plus years at the Kahala Hilton at the time.
Kahala Hilton.
Yeah. Why don't we start from childhood time, though? I guess everybody would love to find out.
You know, Brickwood, I thank all of our kupunas. They were the ones that gave me my start. Charlie's Taxi, Friday.
Charlie's Taxi.
5:30, 6 o'clock. The taxi stand was Jesse Kalim and 1,000 pounds of melody.
Oh, yeah.
So my brother and I, we used to shine shoes and sell newspapers down by Hotel Street Bishop. Every Friday, we knew go down Charlie's Taxi. They're going to jam session. So we go down there. They see us, they go, hey, the two brothers, Papukole, come on here, sing us a song. The only song we knew was Omakalapua.
Okay, well, how's about it?
Go ahead.
Okay, what key does it do that? See, key you see?
Omakalapua, uluma, hie, okaleo, kamaka eha, no kamaka eha, nale. Nali avahine, anavahine, kihene pua. No, himini kako. Oh yeah, everybody.
What a showman.
Lily. song.
So that's the first song. That's the first song at the taxi stand.
Yeah, we used to sing that. I tell you, good fun.
What schools did you attend?
Well, I was very fortunate. I tried to go to Kamaka. I couldn't get in.
You
'cause
tried?
I tried because my last name was Hawaiian. I couldn't get in.
Never mind.
No. My cousin went. His last name Mariama.
Hey.
No,
So-
we all tried, but
So
you know,
where'd you go? Where did you go to elementary,
I went from
middle
Kupuna
school?
Nakoa.
Okay.
They said you gotta go Farrington. I said I cannot. Filipino school. Then they said, then you gotta go Makili. I said that's for Japanese. So I said, how to school by Makiki? Oh, you cannot go there. Unless you speak English, you can go there because it's English standard. It was Roosevelt High School.
Oh, okay.
So I said, for real? They said, yeah. So I said, that's okay. My grandfather said, go take the test, Kanya. No Puiva, no Macau. You go there. No matter how long the word, how big, you cut them up, make short. So I went there, I took that test. I opened the book. Oh my God, that's the longest word I saw. What was the word? I forget now. Aspiration.
Aspiration. There's
Aspiration.
about 5 words in there.
Oh, so I look at that. That's the longest, biggest word I saw. So my grandfather said, cut them up. So get them. I get them. I cut them up. Aspiration. So I put down, if you have headache, take 2.
That's
Who
funny.
want you?
So you got into Roosevelt,
Yes.
and were you singing it at that time
I
already?
guess, what a blessing to go there. Miss Elda Coitley was a music teacher. So us guys, Papa girl guys who stand by the corner, we sing, poo, poo. And he was singing in the corner. And she said, oh, you gentlemen have nice voices. Why don't you join the choir? Because, that's what a mahoos and punks. And all. So we finally,
Punks.
we went into the Brickwood. Changed my whole life.
No kidding.
She taught me how to sing the right way, how to sing the correct way.
Well, you've been a singer all your life, professional singer. You're a very successful businessman. But, that pivot from high school, did you go directly into show business or?
No, I went from high school, I went to University of Hawaii. I wanted to be a school teacher.
Oh, okay.
So, it was my 3rd year. I said, I want to get my degree. I'm going to show everybody us Hawaiians we can show people that, we can be productive, and I'm going to be a school teacher. This was my 3rd year. And one more year, I said, I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to graduate. Oh, wait, I didn't graduate. My 4th year came. Everybody said, what happened? Oh, this hotel down way by Kahala, they offered me one contract, $1.5 million.
Holy smokes.
So I said, should I go finish my 1 year or go take the job? They go, Lolo, take the job.
Yeah. Well, you're the quintessential Hawaiian performer, entertainer, businessman, making it all successful. And so is there anybody in particular besides your parents? I mean, your parents were hard workers, from what I understand. And is there anybody else that you would
Yes, I thank Akua.
Say.
I thank God because of him. I thank him for the breath of life and for what he gave to us. But I thank all of our kupunas. I don't care who your kupunas are. You folks listen. Don't be po'opakiki, don't be hard-headed. Because what they have to offer to you comes from the heart and comes from Akua. So I thank God that because of them, especially my tutukani, my grandfather, he was plantation, sugarcane, but he taught us, the old ways, how to, just whatever you get, be thankful. And coming from Popocolo, we used to go grow in the backyard sweet potato, and every day we eat sweet potato soup. I don't like sweet potato soup.
not anymore?
But I tell you, that was one way of, and we had guava in the backyard.
So, but your tutu man was influential in your life,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's Kupuna power.
Yeah.
Right there's Kupuna
because him, my grandmother,
Now you're a grandfather yourself.
Yes, I'm a kupuna. I have a mo'opuna, my grandson. He just graduated from college, and he's a music teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Got
Yeah.
it in his DNA
He's a
then.
music teacher, and I'm so thankful. I thank God that he graduated and got his degree. But it's so important, Rico, especially kupunas like us.
Yeah.
We have something to share. Share.
Sure.
Especially with the young people. Some of them po pakiki, they're hard-headed, but they need love and they need care.
Interesting about Kupuna power is meant for certain things. One is so that the Kupuna can understand the resources that's already available to them. but also it's for the kupuna, encourage them to share their knowledge with the mo'opuna and the makua, their children, and get them ready for when they become kupuna too.
Oh yeah, I tell you, it wasn't for my kupunas, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
He taught me how to sing the old songs. I mean, E kolomea nui makahonua.
What key to do that in? Do you recall? Why don't you just keep on singing and I'll find it?
Kamanaho iho, kamanaho lana, a me ke aloha, ke aloha kai oia he, po mai ka ina mea, a pau. Here we go, all together, family style. E kolomea nui makahonua. Kamanaho iho, kamana olana. Me ke aloha, kai oia he po mai ka ina mea a pau. Po mai ka ina mea a pau.
Pretty
nice,
stuff.
yeah.
We got a couple more minutes on the clock here, but what's in store for Danny Kaleikini going forward now? We know that you're a successful businessman. You now have reopened the fish pond.
We're down in Kahulu'u.
Aloha Kia Kua.
Aloha Kia Kua. We're
Chapel.
doing the chapel. We're doing weddings out there, but most important, we're keeping it Hawaii of yesteryear. That's one of the, whatever we have left, we must keep it and keep it kanakamo'ole. But unless we do it ourselves, nobody's going to do it. But
sure.
I want to tell all of our people that live out there, especially malamo na aina, you got to care for the land, When you get opala, no throw them on the road and throw them on the sidewalk. Throw them in your car, And then when you get to the rubbish can, but that's the way we got to keep Hawaii clean. But most important, when you see all the aina that we have, and this is the last of what we're going to have, and unless we maintain and keep it yesteryear,
sure.
It's not going to happen, brother. You know that.
Sure. Oh, Hawaii's moving quick. Moving into the next millennium almost, as we make our way through, we're going to get there quicker than we think.
Well, like people say, you cannot stop progress. I said, we cannot stop progress, but, at the meantime, maintain what we have of yesteryear, because, sure. After it's gone, we got to think about the future, and who's the future? The young people.
What did you find, before we go, you brought two of the nose flutes. Can you share with us a little bit?
Ohi iho hano, Hawaiian bamboo nose flute, and I thank my kupunas, my grandpa. Well, this was the first one I made, and I learned it from my kupunas, my grandpa. It's a higher tone, higher pitch, but this one is my favorite. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's an old one, brother.
Well, we're going to wrap up. How's about one more song, and then we say aloha?
This I want to do for... Aue tani kakea aue, aue tani kakea aue, tani te kakea o tākou e, he ratonga aue tani te kakea aue.
Oh, I recall that being sung at almost every show for 30 years at the Kale Hilton Hotel.
Remember?
With countless, royalty,
Everybody.
makainana, or whatever.
Only.
Did you say aoya?
No, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this will conclude our talk story with Kaneala, but Kupuna Power thanks you so much for
No,
joining
I thank
us
you.
today.
We thank him for keeping it alive, I mean. And
So-
to the Kupunas, we love you guys. Aloha wau ioi, and all you young people, listen to your Kupunas, okay? No be po'opakiki. When they say something, come from over here, na pu'oi, and from Akua, from God. The word is, aoya. Alunuanali oya o. Ona laku makayo na hetaipo. Hiwi no kavahina le hone. Manule ha o tu hivi. Na uoe le. Ha aheo. Alivali aku no kamana o laila. Ho o hii. Uno ko kino ho o kahi wale no. Abe oia apu me hana ka ua. Mea oi ola nei pua vai a hainga la. Hano ana le oia u. Lilo ana lilo ia u.
Yeah!
Oia.
Kaleikini! Mahalo, brother.
Ooh, break one.
This is Kupuna Power.
Good things are made to be used and cherished. Good things speak for themselves and increase in value with time. Good things reflect the personality and talents of their owner. At Kamaka, Hawaii, they live a philosophy of creating good things. Shortly after the turn of the century, Samuel Kaiali'ili'i Kamaka began crafting koa ukulele from the basement of his home. In 1916, he formed his one-man shop, Kamaka Ukulele and Guitar Works, and soon established a solid reputation for making only the highest quality ukulele. In 1921, Kamaka Ukulele established a shop at 1814 South King Street. In the mid-20s, Sam Kamaka laid out a pattern for a new oval-shaped ukulele body. A few years later, in 1928, Sam Kamaka patented the design. Thus began the original pineapple ukulele, which produced a resonant, mellow sound distinct from the traditional figure eight. The pineapple ukulele became an instant success worldwide and continues to be Kamaka's signature ukulele to this day. During the 30s, Sam Sr. introduced his two sons, Samuel Jr. and Frederick, to the craft of ukulele making, even though the boys were only in elementary school. In 1945, the business was reorganized as Kamaka and Sons Enterprises. Sam Jr. and Fred Sr. were then drafted into the Army, and after serving in World War II, both brothers attended college on the GI Bill. When Sam Sr. passed away after handcrafting koa ukuleles for over 40 years, Sam Jr. and Fred Sr. continued the family business. They understood their father's vision of bringing Hawaiian music to the world via the ukulele and chose to continue his legacy. In 1959, the company expanded its current location to 550 South Street. Kamaka and Sons incorporated in 1968 and became Kamaka Hawaii, Inc. Fred Sr. joined the business as its general manager. Sam Jr.'s sons, Chris and Casey, got involved with the company, as did Fred Sr.'s son, Fred Jr. Presently, Chris is the production manager, Casey crafts the custom orders, and Fred Jr. is the business manager. Other family members also work in the business, carrying the Kamaka tradition into the 4th generation. Kamaka Hawaii Inc. first hired disabled employees in 1955, a time when physically challenged individuals were virtually unemployed because they were viewed as liabilities. The company found that the hearing impaired craftsmen were conscientious, dedicated, and highly motivated towards perfection. And with their heightened sense of touch, the craftsmen's disability turned out to be a tremendous asset. Kamaka Hawaii Inc.'s Malama extends into the community in many ways. Major sponsor of Roy Sukuma's Ukulele Festival for 30 years, offers discounted ukulele for school music programs and donates ukulele to charitable organizations for fundraising, provides lectures and demonstrations to civic groups, senior citizens, and other organizations, free factory tours given on a regular basis. These community outreach efforts offer a valuable education experience for all ages, while helping to stimulate and maintain interest in the ukulele, a beloved and integral part of Hawaiian culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2013 inductee to the Hawaiian Music Hall of Fame, Kamaka Hawaii Inc., accepting Sam and Fred Kamaka. These gentlemen were my two bosses at the Kodak Hula Show. Wonderful gentlemen. You got to say a few words before we get our artists. Come. Okay. Good to see you. Good to see you.
I want to thank you very much. Business has been since 1916. 2 more years, and it'll be 100 years in business. They are, and as I say, the 4th generation is already working on it. So we're not afraid that it's going to die by the 100th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred. Mahalo, Sam. Mahalo, family. Yeah. Once again, a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome one of our fine young artists in Hawaii, who has indeed his own wonderful sense of the art on the ukulele. A great musician, great performer. It's just wonderful to introduce him. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaleikini.
Hello, everyone. Wow, 98 years. How about another round of applause for the Kamaka family? You know, I stand here very honored and humbled to be able to be here and witness, you know, this awesome event tonight. We're honoring so many people who deserve it. They've been putting so much time. They made a big difference in our community, especially in the Hawaiian music scene. And I just want to say thank you to the Kamaka family for letting me be here to represent you guys. And you know, one thing that sets Kamaka ukulele apart from the rest is not only have they been around for the longest, but you know, the people that put their hearts and souls into every single instrument that they make. That's what makes the biggest difference for especially musicians. Because all of us who play Kamaka, none of us are sponsored, but we love to play this instrument. And you know, there's a reason why. It's because their instruments sing. And I'm not a singer, so I'm going to try and let this beautiful ukulele do the work for me. Here's a song called The Prayer.
this year was the first time we inducted a private company. For the first time, a private company was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and that's the Kamaka Ukulele Company. As you may know, this past legislative session, there was legislation introduced to identify the ukulele as the official instrument of Hawaii. More than any other company, Kamaka Ukulele is both the sound and how it looks and how it's constructed. All Kamaka ukuleles are made of koa. Koa only grows in Hawaii, and the unique tone that you get from a Kamaka ukulele, if you're a musician, is instantly recognizable. And for me, to see the entire Kamaka family here was a thrill, because there's a Hawaiian company that's been in business for 100 years making ukuleles, and who knows how much further into the future. I saw at least 4 generations of Kamakas here.
They put their soul into their music and that instrument. And that's because it's a great instrument. The sound is phenomenal, and they're putting out good products. It can't get any better than that.
There you have it. Another episode of education, entertainment, and aloha. Mahalo to Hawaii's great Danny Kaleikini, Mr. Aloha, for sharing time and memories. I'm Brickwood Galuteria. Join me next week for another episode of Kupuna Power. Aloha.